Good morning, students. This is chapter 7, Conservation of Plants and Animals. Conservation is the term used to describe the prudent, that is careful and sensible use of natural resources. The Earth's natural resources include air, water, soil, minerals, fuels, plants and animals. In this chapter, we will study about their conservation, that is, the practice of caring for these resources so that all living things are benefited from them and now in the future. Deforestation and its causes. This is the new topic. A forest is a large area covered with trees and plants. It provides habitats for animals and plants. The process of clearing away forests by cutting them down or burning them is called deforestation. People clear forests to use wood or to make way for farming and development. The various causes of deforestation are: the causes of deforestation. Number 1, procuring land for cultivation. Forest trees are cut down to obtain more agricultural land for cultivation of crops to feed the increasing population. Second cause, building of houses and factories. The trees are cut down to build homes, factories, roads and dams, etc. Third cause, making various products, these such as paper or wood for making doors, windows, etc. are obtained from trees. And the fourth one cause is natural cause. It includes forest fires and severe droughts, etc. Next topic is consequences of deforestation. Deforestation has an adverse effect on the environment. It will have the following consequences on various living organisms and the environment. Number first effect, it's the global warming. Plants use carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. When fewer trees were left due to deforestation, less carbon dioxide will be used up. This will result in its increased amount in the atmosphere. A possible consequence is global warming, as carbon dioxide traps the heat rays reflected by the surface of the earth. This is the global warming. Second consequence is disturbance in water cycle. The consequent increase in temperature on the earth disturb the water cycle, and this leads to decrease in rainfall that lowers the groundwater level and cause droughts. Next important consequence is soil erosion and desertification. In this, roots of the trees bind the soil of the topsoil, preventing them from being carried away by wind and water. When the forest trees are cut, there are no roots, and the bare topsoil becomes loose quickly and erode rapidly. This results in more soil erosion, exposing the lower layer that has less humus and less fertile. The other properties like nutrient contents, texture, etc. of soil also changes. Over time, continued soil erosion can thus convert the land into a desert, and this is called desertification. So soil erosion and desertification are interlinked consequences. Fourth is floods. The roots of the forest trees help in absorbing the rainwater and make it percolate into the ground. Due to the deforestation, there is decrease in water holding capacity of soil. The movement of water from the soil surface into the ground is reduced, and this results in floods. Next consequence is shortage of wood and other forest products. Deforestation will lead to the shortage of wood used for various purposes. There will be lack of other forest products also, such as honey, gum, lac, etc. If we continue to cut down forest trees, now the new topic is conservation of forests and wildlife. The efforts to protect and preserve forests and wildlife are directed generally along the following lines. Number one, protection by law. It is a very necessary to have strict laws and their enforcement for the protection and preservation of wildlife, that is hunting regulation and rules for unauthorized felling of trees, etc. Second is afforestation. What is the meaning of afforestation? It is the act of planting more and more trees to replace the ones that are cut. Third point, protection for forest fire. It can be done by spraying fire extinguishing solutions from aircrafts or by changing the direction of wind by using strong blowers. Fourth point, personal and society efforts. Some organizations help in conservation of forests through their projects, programs, and joint efforts with the government, for example, Van Mahotsav or Tiger Project, to preserve the forest as well as tiger. Next point is habitat preservation. In this method, protected areas such as wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, biosphere reserves, etc. are established, and these areas are large enough to protect the diverse and whole set of ecosystem. Plantation, cultivation, grazing, cutting of trees, hunting, and poaching are prohibited in these protected areas. Biosphere. It's a new topic. Biosphere is a part of the earth in which living organisms exist or which survive, which support life. Biological diversity or biodiversity refers to the variety of organisms existing on the earth, their interrelationships and their relationships with environment. Biosphere reserve, large areas of protected land for conservation of wildlife, plants and animal resources and traditional life of the tribal livings in this area. But the Biosphere Reserve help to maintain the biodiversity and culture of that area. The Panchmani Biosphere Reserve consists of one national park named Satpura and two life sanctuaries named Bori and Panchmani. The next very important topic is flora and fauna. Some animals and plants typically belong to a particular area. The plant and animals of particular area are known as flora and fauna of that area respectively. These are found naturally in that area. Cheetal, wolf, leopard, chinkara, bluebill, barking deer and wild dog are the examples of fauna of Panchmani Biosphere Reserve. Whereas teak, jamun, sal, mango, arjun are the flora of Panchmani Biosphere Reserve. Now the new topic is endemic species. Endemic species are those species of plants and animals which are found exclusively in a particular area. They are naturally found anywhere else. A particular type of animal and plant may be endemic to a zone, state, or a country. For example, sal and wild mango are endemic flora of Panchmani Biosphere Reserve. Bison, Indian giant squirrel, and flying squirrel are endemic fauna of this area. The endemic species may vanish in the near future due to a number of factors. The factors such as destruction of their habitat, increasing population, and introduction of new species are affecting the natural habitat of endemic species and endangering their existence. Now, What are species? Species is a group of population which are capable of interbreeding. This means that the member of a species can reproduce fertile offsprings only with the member of their own species and not with the member of other species. Member of species have common characteristics. The next topic is wildlife sanctuary. A wildlife sanctuary is a processed area for animals in their natural environment like forest. There is no disturbance to animals and their habitat. Killing, poaching and capturing of wild animal is strictly prohibited. It provides protection and suitable living condition to the wild animals. People living in the wildlife sanctuaries are allowed to do certain activities such as grazing their livestock, collecting medicinal plants, firewood. Some of the threatened wild animals like blackbuck, white-eyed buck, elephant golden cat, pink-headed duck, gharial, marsh crocodile, python, rhinoceros, etc. are protected and preserved in our wildlife sanctuaries. Now the next topic is national parks. A national park is an area reserved for wildlife where they can freely use the habitats and natural resources. It is relatively large protected area and is maintained by the government to preserve flora and fauna, landscape and historic objects of area and places of scientific interest. These are the diverse enough these area are diverse enough to protect whole set of ecosystem. India has more than 105 national parks. Many of these national parks were initially wildlife sanctuaries. Some of the prominent parks of India are given below. Number 1, Corbett National Park in Uttarakhand, Bandhavar National Park in Madhya Pradesh, Kaziranga National Park, Assam, Bandipur National Park, Karnataka, and Ranthambore National Park in Rajasthan. Now the next topic is endangered animals and extinct animals. Animals whose number are diminishing to a level that may face extinction are called endangered animals. These are on verge of vanishing from the earth, and if appropriate action to save them are not taken, they may become extinct. That is lion-tailed macaw, tiger, snow leopard, Asiatic lion, etc. These are endangered animals. Next topic is extinct animals. These species which no longer exist anywhere on the earth are called extinct animals. These have died out completely. A species becomes extinct when the last living member of that species dies. That is, for example, dodo, dinosaurs, iris, deer, etc. Next topic is ecosystem. An ecosystem is made of all the plants, animals, microorganisms in an area along with non-living components such as climate, soil and river delta, etc. Both living and non-living components, they form ecosystem together. The new topic in this chapter is Red Data Book. Red Data Book is a source book which keeps the record of all the endangered animals and plants. Red Data Book is maintained internationally by an organization. India also maintains Red Data Book for plants and animals found in India. Some of the endangered species in Red Data Book of India are black bug, great Indian rhinoceros, and Himalayan musk deer, etc. Now the next topic is migration. The process of an animal or bird to move from one place to another on the basis of season is called migration. It is an adaptation to escape the harsh and cold conditions of their normal habitat so as to survive and reproduce. For example, Siberia crane, one of the most common migratory bird which comes to India every year from Siberia. Migratory birds fly to faraway areas every year during a particular time because of climate change. They fly for laying eggs as the weather in their natural habitat becomes very cold and inhospitable. The Arctic tern makes the longest migration. It travels from the North Pole to the South Pole each year. Now the next topic is recycling of paper. Paper is made from wood pulp that is produced from the wood of forest trees. Therefore, it is one of the important products we get from the forest and thus a major cause of deforestation. It is calculated that 17 full-grown trees are need to make 1 ton of paper. So we should save paper. Recycling of paper means to process the waste paper to make new paper that can be used again. We should save, reuse and recycle paper for the following reasons. Number 1, to save forest trees from being cut. 2, to save water used in the paper making. Third, to save energy used in making paper. And fourth, to reduce the amount of harmful chemicals used in paper making. Now the next topic is reforestation. Reforestation is a restocking of destroyed forest by planting more and more trees. We should at least plant as many as trees have cut down. It is the answer to the problem of deforestation. Reforestation can take place naturally also. If the deforested area is left undisturbed, it re-establishes itself. In the natural reforestation, there is no role of human beings. If we have to retain our green wealth for future generation, plantation of more trees is the only option. In India, there are following Conservation Act to save the forest. Number 1 is Forest Conservation Act, Chipko Andolan and the Joint Management Program.